everyone, and welcome to our 2020 year in review video. Here we're going to go over the 4 goals that we had for the year, as well as the top 5 moments from the year from our point of view.
So the first goal we had for 2020 was to do over 600 adventure kilometers. So the adventure kilometers are made up of the cross-country skiing, hiking, canoeing, and backpacking we've done throughout the year. In total, we managed to get to a little over 625 kilometers this year. We're actually really happy with that number because there was a 4 to 5 week period in late June, early July where we couldn't really get out and do anything at all. There was a heat wave, tornadoes, severe hail warnings all over the place, and it just wasn't safe to get out and do anything. Even though we had that 4 to 5 week gap period, we managed to do this by having longer days on the trips we did take. Last year we were averaging in the 12 to 18 kilometer range, and this year we had a lot more days where we were pushing 20 to 22 kilometers, as well as the 12-hour hiking challenge that we did back in October helped put our numbers up because we ended up doing 45 kilometers that day, and we're also super happy about that.
The second goal of 2020 was to complete a backpacking trip with a resupply in the middle. This goal was made with an Arizona trip in mind. It was going to be a 10-day trip down in the Arizona Trail area with a resupply at a ranger station. But because of COVID and the borders closing, this trip did not happen, and none of the trips that we did in Canada this year were long enough to facilitate a resupply in the middle, so this goal was not accomplished.
So the third goal we had for 2020 was to go to a Canoe Rapids course. The course was going to cover class 1 and 2 rapids, and we were going to do it so that we get more comfortable on choppy waters and be able to do a couple of the more difficult river routes in the area. Unfortunately, because of COVID, group courses were basically canceled everywhere. Initially, the course was postponed and then it was outright canceled. So we're hoping to get to it in 2021 now since we missed out on it this year.
The fourth goal of 2020 was to get more involved with the community, and we ended up volunteering at Swamp Donkey, which is a local adventure race that happens in the White Shell. We met some amazing people also in the outdoor community, and we got a bit of a taste for what adventure racing was, and it sounds so amazing. And the day in general is just an absolute blast, cheering people on and helping out the racers.
So those were the 4 goals that we had for 2020. Going 2 for 4 is a little bit disappointing, but given the year that we had, we're okay with it. And we're going to do better in 2021. Next, we want to go over the top 5 moments that we had in 2020.
The moment in 5th place this year was the trip to Lamprey Rapids. This was the first canoe trip after our Crow Duck Lake incident, so we were pretty nervous, but it was very important for us to get back on the water and get back into canoeing. The other important part of this trip was we were able to introduce 2 new people to backcountry travel. The 2 of them had never been in the backcountry before, and they really enjoyed their time, and I think that we got them hooked on it.
So the next most important moment we had in 2020 was volunteering for the Swamp Donkey Adventure Race. We discovered an amazing community of outdoors people that we weren't aware existed in Manitoba, and we hadn't volunteered for anything in a long time, and it was a very rewarding experience helping the day go off without too many major problems. At the end of the day, we also got the chance to meet the course designers for the 2019 Eco Challenge and talk to them a bit about their job, about designing adventure course races, and just about outdoor experiences in general. And that was really cool of them to take the time to talk to us for that.
The third most important moment of 2020 was the Whistling Pass area. So for us, this is including Egypt Lake, the climb up to Scarab Lake, the actual pass, and Hajduk Lake on the other side. This was the most beautiful area I have ever been in my entire life. It was just completely stunning. And this is one of the main reasons that we hike. The sheer beauty of this area puts it at number 3.
The second most important moment for us in 2020 was going up Fatigue Pass. We made a couple of mistakes throughout the day, like getting our sleeping bags a bit damp in the morning, and we didn't eat enough while we were going up. And there were a lot of hard moments, like going through some ice-cold river crossings, and there was a lot of snow to push through, and it was the most elevation we've ever gained in a single day before. But it was also very beautiful when we got to the top. And there was a lot of personal growth that day while we realized that we were able to handle all of that adversity. And honestly, since then, everything has seemed a lot more comfortable no matter how hard it's been.
The number one most important and hardest moment of 2020 was our trip on Crow Duck Lake. For those who haven't seen the video, this was a 2-day in and out canoe trip to Crow Duck Falls and back. Our mistake that weekend was not taking into consideration the wind speeds, and we found ourselves in some pretty choppy, unsafe waters. This trip taught us a lot more of what we don't know, so that we need to learn more about water and backcountry safety, and we gained a lot more respect for open water. Another thing that we learned from that weekend was the importance of canceling trips if it's not safe, regardless of how much planning went into it.
One more point that is an honorable mention is the great white beaver that we found on the Mantario through hike in last May long. It was honestly really cool, and we just wanted to mention it again.
It was pretty cute.
So I'd just like to thank everyone for watching, liking, and sharing our videos. It means a lot to us to get all of your feedback. So stay safe out there and have a good week.